Illinois Street Resident Hall, or ISR, is one of the most familiar dining spaces at UIUC. For many students, it is a part of everyday life. People came here between classes, after long days, or simply because it is convenient. At first, ISR feel like a normal part of campus life. You get your food, sit down, eat, and move on with your day. Everything here is built around routine. But that is also why this space matters. When something becomes so normal, people stop paying attention to certain things. In ISR, one of those things is food waste. Most of the time, it does not look dramatic. It just happens quietly, as part of everyday life, dining hall life. What makes food waste difficult to talk about it is that it often feels normal. Food is taken, left unfinished, and thrown away in ways that quickly become part of the routine. To understand this issue from a student perspective, I interviewed a UIUC student who also works as a ISR staff. Can you introduce yourself briefly?
Yeah, hi, I'm Roxy. I'm a graduate student at UIUC and I also work part-time at ISR.
How often do you eat at dining hall?
I usually eat at the dining hall 4 or 5 times a week.
Do you usually finish a meal here? Why or why not?
I try to, but sometimes I can't finish my meal because some of the food didn't suit my taste.
Have you ever take more food than you can finish?
Yes, sometimes.
Alright. What usually leads to that? Don't like the taste, in a rush, or what else?
I think it can be for different reasons, but most of that is because the food is not really delicious.
Okay. Why do you think food waste is so common in dining hall?
I think one reason is buffet-style dining makes it easy for people to take more food than they need. Students also like trying different dishes, but sometimes they realize that they don't like the taste and leave food unfinished. Also, it can be hard to judge portion size, so many people make too much without meaning to.
Do you think most students are aware of how much food gets wasted?
I think students may notice how much they personally waste, but they probably don't have a clear idea of how much food is wasted overall in the dining hall every day.
Do you think it's more an individual problem or a system problem?
I'd say it is more of a system problem because students' behavior is influenced by the dining hall staff setup, like buffet-style service, and the food quality. Of course, individuals have responsibility too, but if the system encourages over-serving or people often don't like food, waste becomes harder to avoid.
What do you think could realistically help reduce food waste in campus?
I think raising awareness could help, like reminding students to take only what they can finish, offering smaller dishes first, and allowing people to get second could also help. Maybe sharing information about daily food waste could make students think more carefully before taking food.
What this intervention shows is that food waste often feels routine. Students may notice it, but they do not always stop and think about it. Once food is thrown away, it does not simply disappear. That raises another question. Where does food waste on campus actually go? At UIUC, some of the food waste from campus dining hall is processed through a system called grind to energy. This system helps divert food scraps and shows that food waste on campuses is significant enough to require an institutional response.
可以了。 Hi, my name's Thurman Etchison. I'm one of the Assistant Directors in Housing Dining Services. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about our grind-to-energy system whereby we turn our food scraps into energy and fertilizer. So behind me is our food waste holding tank. It holds about 4,000 gallons of food waste. Food waste is pumped into this tank and it will remain here until the tank is about 80% full. At that point, the system will notify the vendor to come pick it up. Then it is hauled to the sanitary district where it's turned into energy and fertilizer in their anaerobic digester.
From the wet well, we pump it to our sludge blending tank, and then we feed that to our digesters. This is where the methane gas is created and captured and utilized through the combined heat and power engines, where we generate our electricity as well as recover the heat to heat the digesters throughout the year. After the digestion process, we also dewater the sludge to approximately 20-21% total solids, and then twice a year we do apply the biosolids to agriculture fields for uptake of the nitrogen and the phosphorus for crop production.
The system basically consists of 4 major parts: a table, a large commercial grinder, a computer system that's housed in this control box, and a very large pump that pumps the food waste into the grind-to-energy holding tank. So now we're going to have Craig Stockman come over and demonstrate. He's going to mix some of this food waste. We have some very fibrous items we're going to mix with some more wet items in the table here. As he's doing that, the grinder is going to add water to the food waste and then pump it out into the tank. The reason we wanted to do something different was honestly to be more sustainable than what we were doing. We love the idea that somebody's getting energy out of this and fertilizers being created that's not just going into a landfill and creating greenhouse gases. We have systematically installed one of these in each one of our residential dining centers. All of our food waste goes into this system, and that's approximately 20,000 pounds a week.
Grind-to-energy is a neat partnership between the university, which is the generator of the food waste, and the sanitary district. They were looking at actively diverting food that was previously going to the landfill, waste food. Instead of putting it into the dumpster, they wanted to put it into a system where it could generate gas. Right now we're generating enough gas at this treatment plant where about 1/3 of our electric usage and half of our heating demand is provided by that natural gas.
We really feel like this is a win for housing dining services in terms of sustainability and cost, a win for the environment, a win for campus, and a win for the Urbana-Champaign Sanitary District, who have been great partners in this process.
Grind-to-energy shows that university has already created a way to manage food scrap after they are thrown away. But managing waste is not the same as preventing it. The bigger question is not just where wasted foods go, but why so much food is being wasted in the first place. ISR is a normal part of campus life, but it also makes food waste visible in a very direct way. The university has a system to deal with the food scraps, but that does not change the fact that food is still being wasted every day. In the end, the issue is not only about where food waste go, but about how much of it could have been avoided before it was even thrown away.